like the others. They do not need to know. You said you fall with me, no matter how deep it goes. With my head underwater.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
Oh my, somehow they do it!
Welcome back to the pitches here in Denmark. Herning Sports Complex hosting the European Ultimate Indoor Club Championships 2024. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, alongside Stefan Rapazzo in the booth for our first women's division game of our live streaming action between Drop That Smile of Lithuania versus YRR or YRR of Germany.
Rat her. Excited for this one, Hannah. They've both had different paths. Of course, the 3-seed EUR coming in to take the 2-seed coming out of their round-robin pools. DTS dropped their first game in a very close affair against Moon Cup. I had the pleasure of watching that game. They were right in it, right till the end. Moon Cup took it away.
And you'd expect nothing less, of course, from the champions of the division last time out at the club level. Lots of crossover as well on the Drop That Smile roster between the Lithuanian bronze medal winners from the last Indoor Championships of Nations as well.
Exciting stuff. EUR, of course, I thought it was YRR. They are EUR, and we'll get to the bottom of that as this game gets on. But about to kick off here, Hannah, excited. Let's see what happens.
Certainly are. So Drop That Smile to start, or DTS as we'll call them, in the white shirts. And it's match coverage, but a little bit of poaching off and clamping in the central space from EUR. Melita, though, that one's going to escape her hands. Oh no, Petra Weiter, sorry. So first opportunity, Strube. On the goal line. Looking for an easy one, just throws over the shoulder of the mark. Oh, and a complete misfire there. Not sure what was in the mind of Isabella Spela, but that was going to give the dispatch to DTS.
Yeah, certainly expecting Maya Schultz to cut back into that wide open space, but the throw went well before the eye contact.
So what's going on for a little bit late to start for DTS. They're going to launch a knife away into the deep space, but I think that was intended for Camila Resnikaita. And surprisingly, DTS, who train together a lot, not really clicking right now.
Bit of sense of the nerves.
But they make it good. Resnikaita there, just popping that one out of contention.
That one out of the hands of Lilo Strober. Seen her all over the circuit. Masters, great Grand Masters, and doing it on the indoor open age here in Herning.
Well, this zony defense now from EUR being exploited with that quick movement, now swinging it across. Petra Weiter knifing it for the swing. Schleiter now. Forward and through to Resnikaita. Just keeping the disc flowing nice and easy. Edging towards the end zone. Kundalita in that central position. Oh, what a racing attempt at the run-through bid for Moreau. These knives slicing through the air for DTS. Now just thinking about it. Oh, the scuba after everybody got distracted in the front space by a lovely outline cut. At long last, the Spurs point finishes. And that one took nearly 2 minutes there, Steph.
Yeah, Borbora Kundalite in the back corner there, the recipient of that goal, but far too much work required. That's a win for UR for a first defensive effort. The zone they put on there was quite efficient. A 2-woman front, 3 in the back, and as the field condensed, it almost got more efficient, taking away that space. Finally, a good show of patience by the Lithuanians to find the right spaces, but show of nerves. Let's see what UR does on their first chance.
Oh, great pressure underneath, but even better concentration and focus there from Verena Play. But the layout just gets the hands to it. The foul's going to be called. A little discussion as Donata Bassos goes to ground.
Here's another look at that one. What do we think back home? Watching that second act, like, yeah, I can see Saskia Beek says she's now pointing to the ankle. I thought maybe wrist, and it is accepted. An exceptional bid from first angle. From what we saw there, I thought that looked clean on first look.
I think possibly the discussion is that there was a bit of contact before the bid was made, so maybe that clip of the ankle causing the stumble from Beek before Bassos then powered through. But it looked great, and it was caught on camera, so that's what counts. Play. Trying to dictate the space in front of her. Beek now backing up the reset. Big knife, but of course, drop that smile. Very used to those throws. We saw them use them in the opening point, and they read it perfectly. So now their opportunity for a break here. A little bit behind, but all good. Gedvalaita around. Petroskaita gives it back. A little bit of a collision right in front of the disc and a pit call, unsurprisingly, as Gintara Petroskaita just sneaks away to the break side. Bassos was there available. I thought that one was going to hurt. Lots of resets required. Oh, the scuba over the top. The defenders can't quite get there, but it hits the target. Donata Bassos, she wasn't given the block, but she does get the score, and that's a break for DTS.
Yeah, big break after a sloppy-ish first offensive possession. The D-line comes out, gets the job done. The layout that didn't count earlier in the point didn't matter. Petroskaita got it back with the sky D towards the end zone. And the finishing touches there towards Bassos. A nice scuba over the top. Gedvalaita. And DTS very efficient on that offensive possession once they got the disc back for their D-line.
So you're currently without a score yet on the board. Move it nicely. Big hammer to Beek, but it's taken away by Bassos. What a matchup those two players are having early on in the stages of this match.
Yeah, Bassos closed a lot of ground very quickly there. Beek did look open when that came out.
Slicey inside. Oh, nearly a juggling contest for Resnikaita, but well taken away by Mira Glocker. Oh, but considering the focus of the looking upfield, just a skew reset pass. And Bassos going to take the reset backwards. Oh, what a lovely knife that is. Straight into the waiting palms of the receiver.
And just a bit of head shaking from UR. You see the timeout being taken by Coach Remy, but too many unforced errors too early in this game. Missing on Glocker there. No real excuse for that. Those things have to be tightened up to hang with ex-champs in this game.
And the very first couple of moments, it really did look like DTS were just not their normal selves. They, as we mentioned, they play a lot together back home. Lithuania's sort of more favoured national sport being basketball. A lot of these players have come from that background, so they're used to the indoor format, these arenas, and it seems like they're now firing more on all cylinders, finding each other in flow. Whereas for the Germans, it's a bit of a collection of individuals. What's the story behind YRR?
Well, YRR comes from a novel by Frank Schatzing, The Swarm. YRR are single-celled organisms that operate in swarms controlled by a single hive mind, Hannah. So they are the collection of their whole, of their pieces, controlled by the single hive mind. Would that be Coach Remy in control, or is that the collective once again? Let's see, but we're going to need that single hive mind to start clicking to get this swarm operating.
And they've got a series of exceptional minds out there on the pitch. Plain and simple. Resets to back pick. Now that's a lovely, lead pass, but there's just a little bit of awkwardness for Spieler trying to run it down. Sort of side hustling, hopping towards that far sideline. It just tips out of her fingers.
Yeah, led her right into the front row. Would have liked to lead her just a little less to drag that toe.
Lovely pass over the top. Normally you see those in upside down throw, but the shaping almost perfect. Petroskaite going almost every other. Bodanova now with the hammer. Oh, and that's just a little sneak there. Exploiting again the attention of the defense, going elsewhere and just tiptoeing into the end zone. Ruta Gedvelaita with the goal.
This is a case of you're making, yes, too many unforced errors. That one a little bit too far. That one a bit more of an acceptable error, but also a case of DTS not putting a foot wrong right now. They have come out swinging, firing. They're seeing the space. They're attacking the space. They're not afraid to be creative and go over top. They're not afraid to give and go and just keep moving.
With the size of the end zone, Steph, what do you think about the choice to play zone defense?
I mean, I think it was a nice initiative move. Make them think that they're going to see a lot of it, and it did maybe give them confidence that it was working, but they have to switch back away now.
Oh, that's a racy one into the end zone, just in the back corner, but Bassus bosses the defensive space. Lena Schoenmacher unable to reach up to the sky because the defense is there.
Yeah, well bossed, perfect word there. Good body control, use of the body. You know, that's where you see a little bit of shoulder contact, a little drop hand to feel where the opponent is.
Immediate response with a knife into the end zone, just shy. Kundalita looking for an option for a reset. This is great person coverage, but eventually Resnikaita joining the four. Happy to swing it. There's no need to go for an adventurous goal. 4-0 up at the moment in the women's crossover stages here. Edging ever closer. Kundalita now. Petroskaite. Keeping the disc alive really beautifully. If you're on YRR right now trying to play defense, this zoney look still, sort of a two-person defensive charge around the disc, and then the three-handing, giving and going. DTS trying to distract in front. Oh, a little one goes over, tries to reach to Kundalita. Frustration eventually getting the better of DTS and the block.
I was just about to say that the zone is good prevention, but not necessarily going to generate that turn. And, well, there's that turn generated.
Unnecessary frustration. Oh, but what a block from Donata Bassus. She's not a youth player. She's experienced and knows exactly what's required.
And will they set up at the zone again on a static turnover, or are they going to go into match?
I think they're going to stick with this zone.
Looks like it.
It does slow down the defense, but you're 4-0 down here. You've got to score points. It's a long old game, but if you can keep the O-line out there, I guess, but they're not really. DTS aren't having to run super hard right now, and that's a good example. Those knifey blady throws over the top to hit each other in the swing positions. You could do that all day, but they don't need to, because there's a little hop, step and a jump. Camilo Esnikaita clutches the goal, and that's 5-0. Drop that smile from Lithuania.
Yeah, off to the races. They're running away with this one. And I mean, there is some efficiency with their zone. It's not a bad zone, but it's kind of a show that they are an outdoor team, and maybe their range of what they can deploy is minimized in the indoor game, perhaps, but I'm surprised that they haven't switched to something different already. Maybe they know that is what they do best, but right now it is broke, so you must fix it, and something has to be changed. The zone will slow them down, up the pass count, but that doesn't seem to be bothering the Lithuanians too much. One turnover generated against, and that went almost up into our commentary booth. But
fundamentally, if you've got a lead indoors, it's a much shorter time format than it is for an outdoor game. You've got about half of the time available. So actually playing zone, especially a zone that's stifling the offense in that kind of way, but it's not really supremely aggressive until, of course, the offense chooses to do something a little bit racy. It can really run down the clock. And look, again, a little bit double coverage there. Another foul's going to be called by Saskia Bick, continuing to be marked up by Donata Bassos.
Pleading her case there. Let's have another look. That lofty hammer.
There's definitely some hustle there. We mentioned some of these athletes are used to playing basketball, which is a limited contact, not non-contact sport. It's a bit of a difference with Ultimate.
Yeah. That one there, Bassos just did step in front. I'm sure Saskia Bick felt the graze, but...
Well, it's not how it looks to us, it's how it feels on the court. But I'm surprised. Either way, GER looking to put their first point on the board. Bick, nice footwork on the far sideline, squeezing it through, and there we go. That's number one of, I'm sure, many more to come. Verena playing with the goal.
That's got to feel good, and I'm glad that they are really celebrating that. It's tough to celebrate when you're down that much, but when you do finally break the barn door open, put one on the board, you've got to celebrate. Love the spike there. They've got to find a spark to turn the tides here. They do. It's 1 point at a time. You can't score 5 on one goal, but you've got to feel the momentum as though 5 more are coming when you put the first one on and you break through onto that score column. Let's see what they do. Finally, chasing a pull here.
So drop that smile coming out on offense for the first time in a little while. Petrovaita, lovely lead pass, and then Lesnikaita available almost immediately. Again, there always just seems to be one player completely unmatched for Drop That Smile. And they're just moving like a gently warmed knife through butter. Look at this flow. One replacing the other. Thinks about the scuba, but then a little pop in front of Monika Schleinaiter, and that will do for another to the tally of DTS. 6-1 now they lead.
I mean, you said it and I'll repeat it, but the one thing that I used to love playing against a zone is that if you're patient and you've got decent vision, there is always somebody open against a zone. And indoor conditions, when you can throw way more throws than you would be able to throw in the outdoor circuit, it just makes it that much easier or more accessible to find those open players.
So the real sheer size of this pitch, and that's one of the really interesting things about indoor tournaments. Sometimes the pitches are much smaller, as we see another run through block for who else? Donata Bassos, the queen of D, for Drop That Smile. But the space on these pitches really does allow you to exploit, but match coverage now for GER. Seeing something a little bit different.
That I like.
Well, you've got to go for it. Oh, nearly there, but great communication, the flow between these players, the connection, Gintare Petroskaite with the throw into Ruta Gedvelaite.
And Glocker got turned around there, was chasing to catch up, had the blind hand out on defense, put the airplane arms up, almost as though she knew the throw was going to come. And here's another look at that score. There's Glocker. Just she came so far off on the mark, and then the ensuing pass. No chance to catch up.
One of the key things of playing defense, especially indoors, is being agile, and I think that's the thing. You've seen quite a few sort of overcommitting of defense, but that one, just a little bit of a lack of communication. Isabella Spieler off to the downfield space, not realizing she's the intended target for what would have been a very lovely lead pass. Great idea for you, but not quite the right communication. Quick knife across. Galba. Happy to throw the back passes. Plenty of room on that break side. Bastos now. Bogdanova trying to work in that pivot middle position. Now available for an easy. Big space across. There's a pick way before, so that one should come back because of the timing of the pick call before the throw. But that was a bad old drop, and I think Drop That Smile will say, yep, that was a drop knife, and Euro will receive possession.
Yeah, drop that smile, drop that blade, and it cost them because the pick against may have had them retain possession. Those are the weird ones that the call's already been made when it's in the air, but you still got to make the play for the call to stand.
Well, I think it was before, and you can have it come back on full, but of course the player's allowed to decide, yeah, that didn't impact the outcome. Oh, but that one a little bit too high and feisty. You're really having to grind their way through this one. Just couldn't quite keep the hands around the disc for Lilo Stuber. Bogdanova. Oh, what a lovely little lead, soft backhand, a bit of contact as the attempt from Isabella Spieler to just run that one down. But that will be half, I think. Not quite? No.
One away from half still for DTS, but it feels like they're going to get there quick. Bogdanova, great give and go from the sideline, no hesitation. Only needed a meter, got that meter, and was rewarded for it.
No, I was caught out there by the excellent scorekeepers. Whoever's doing this game's really on it with our local scoreboard.
Yeah.
Hitting them buttons.
Good news. It's good news. We're waiting for that score. It couldn't have been updated that quick. Oh, it was. Well done, scorekeepers. Love your work down there.
Oh, we do. They are the true heroes of the sport. All of our volunteers here at the sports complex in Herning. That's a very complex option, and it's going to be snaffled up by the defense. Kamila Resnikaita immediately straight through. Bichikaita. Mikovic now back underneath. This is really good match coverage now from Yer. A little bit too much sagging off the handler, but everybody else doing a really good job to interrupt the flow here. Oh, what a fantastic poach that was. There we go, that's more like it. Yer, match defense and Shuji moment.
Yeah, great step in front and then layout to finish the job by Inga Moro. And Straub now gets him going.
Big swing across. Struber being pinned, but finds a nice silky inside flick. Oh, that's a lot of contact on the far sideline.
They're going to have a discussion about that, Moreau and Bassos.
Immediately calling the foul herself, I think, is Bassos there. It's a difficult situation when you're being squeezed towards the sideline as the offensive player is trying to stay in bounds.
Oh, yeah. Bassos knew she went hip to hip, accepted foul. Moreau will pick that disc up. Yeah, it's tough with these sidelines. Not only do you have the sideline to contend with Hannah, but of course the seats and the concrete around it. It's there's a lot involved in hitting the ground and laying out and diving when you're indoors.
Well, we know Moreau's tough. In fact, she's so tough. She's already had 3 kids. So big shout out to all of the Moreau family watching back at home as we see Isabella Spieler there grab another for the tally for Yer. Keeping this first half alive.
Keeping it alive, 8-2 Spieler cashing in. And as much as there's work to do, getting those scores, you never know where a momentous spark can come from. DTS right now showing their form, looking like they're a immovable object, but chinks in the armor can find some space to tear it right open every now and again, and that hope has to stay alive for YRR every time they are able to score against this powerhouse from Lithuania.
Well, as we say, defending champions from the last club championships at the indoor format. So you know it's going to be one of the most difficult crossovers there is. Pick elsewhere on the field. That one will pop back. So Blita there, just being brought back on the leash. Nice grinding movement to get free. See how much more effort this is for the offense when they play match. But they do find their way through. That break to Kundalita really setting things up nicely, and Petrovaita coming in for the goal.
Yeah, that scuba across the field open. Kundalita demands so much space. If she comes under, she's a force with disc in hand to throw. When she goes deep, she's an amazing target. That scuba, that's the one I'm talking about. Beautiful throw to set it up. And Kundalita shows why she was the Eurostar selection out of Lithuania. She is the center of this offense, two-time selection, centerpiece of this offense, and she's getting it done, taking us into halftime, Hannah.
Indeed, so drop that smile, leading 9-2, but we'll see how the second half develops after this. Women's quarterfinals here at the European Indoor Ultimate Club Championships. European Federation battling it out. Current defending champions really getting a great start to this game, 9-2. I think we're from a 5-0 lead, but YRR of Germany, the Munich outfit, trying to battle their way through, now coming out on offense. Playing on the far sideline, shoots through to Glocker. Hammer over the top, that's what you get when you force flick, but a little bit too high. But a nice idea, I like the tenacity.
They're going for it, not shying away, but DTS are going to get a break chance early.
Pekavichuta on the underneath. Lovely float, not that one. Oh well, too many loose throws in this opening point of the second half already. Vassos underneath that one.
That one goes straight into the tunnel. And she's gone. Oh, there she is, she's back. She doesn't have her foot on the line, Hannah. What's up with that?
Well, we'll talk about that when this point is over. Nice clear rules clarification. Big on the far sideline. Looking for options. Nice leader to Plain. Nice and simple, an easy push pass into the end zone for Mira Glocker, running up that line into space. So yes, Steph, to point out what you just did, there's been a lovely bit of clarification for this indoor tournament, that when you're bringing a disc back into bounds, if you set your pivot foot on the line, as I've been whinging about all last season, you are out of bounds, because as we all know, on the line is out when you're making in or out bounds calls. So you can actually set your pivot foot up to a meter into the pitch.
Lovely. Just playing it by the rules. Nice to see Glocker getting on the board there for YRR. She's been their leading point getter over the course of the tournament yesterday. So very good to get her onto the board.
And it will be a great season for her until she has her next birthday, because her age actually matches the number on her shirt. Always a great year of your playing career.
A champagne birthday number year.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Vintage stuff. Again, DTS identifying and exploiting the unmarked player. There is Nikaita coming through to the underneath. Now Petrovaita. Slamaita. Hammer across to reach the open space, and immediately Kundalita going to the end zone. She knows where the next throw is going to be as the defense all cluster towards, and a little pirouette to celebrate.
Annie, we discussed that we liked the fact that YRR had dropped the zone and had gone to a match. Right there, they'd gone back. I think that's a different zone. It seemed like they were playing match in the backfield and switching, poaching on the handlers. But as soon as the one gainer came, you saw Moreau there poach to go put a mark on, and Kundalite left wide open for the score in the end there. So trying to be creative defensively, they need something to work, but in that case, it didn't work out for them.
Oh, Donato Bassos just coming through and smacking down that one, whistle clean, staying well away from Saskia Beek.
Bassos having a blinder out there. She is outrunning everybody. It's been a great matchup with Bake, but she's getting the better hand of it.
Every time, Steph. If you watch back those games from Lithuania last season for the Indoor Championships, she did exactly the same thing for her national team, and there she goes. A beautiful flick throw to the far corner. What a lovely execution there. I think that's the number 8 I saw on the back of that shirt. No, number 13. There we go. Kristina Bogdanova.
Bogdanova, there it is again. The give, the go, the get, and here's the assist with Bassos doing what she does and creating space.
Well, she didn't even need to have to. That's the beautiful thing about indoor break throws. You know, you really, if you can execute them beautifully. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's a nice little get though for YRR. They have been doing excellently in spreading themselves around the pitch to begin, trying to identify and attack the space. Thinks about the hammer. Oh, what new perfection toe work that was. Isabella Spieler just closes the claw around air.
Yeah, great attempt at the catch there. The throw had the wrong shape on it. That should have been an outside in. It ended up getting an inside out shape on a misreleased throw.
Good for Leiter. Bogdanova now. Cheeky little overhead. Bassos. No one hitting that soft break side space. They're still able to attack it. Just keeping things moving nice and easy. Just under 12 minutes remaining. That was such nearly amazing defense. Bassos throwing herself around, but what a performance here from Isabella Spieler, doing everything in her potential.
How did she not get that? It was like her hand fell off right before. I thought that was money in the bank. She took away the position. She had a full step in front, missed it somehow. Possession retained, and then YRR do get the benefit of that hard work from an overthrow.
Yeah, YRR have every tool in the box. Not quite worked out in this game, but this is much better stuff. A little bit, but that just a bit soft from Inga Moreau. Pharmacist by trade, but she didn't quite read the prescription. Nice high grab for Petroskaita. The Lithuanians just so confident with these throws. Great rundown for Mikovichuta. A little fire back. Just the the vision of Drop That Smile is what's really impressing me in the midsection of this game, Steph.
Yeah, Mika Vikuta, now it's like everyone is stepping up. We talk about Basus and Kundalite being the centerpieces of this offense, but really everybody who's had a chance to make a play has done it. You see here, Mika Vikuta, she gives, she gets, and right back in, creates some space in the middle of the end zone and gets the reward for her team. A stat on the stat sheet for her. There's a timeout being called. And good idea, take a little break.
Well, we've only got 20 seconds left before this game will go back into play. So timeouts here, not particularly long. And of course, the other crossovers all going on, and because of our wonderful, fantastic volunteer crew here, if you've ever thought about volunteering at an Ultimate Tournament, I highly recommend it, especially with the European Federation. They've got a great team behind them. But the other women's crossovers all being flashed out online, EUICC-schedule.ultimatefederation.eu, which is a bit of a mouthful, but if you go to the European Federation websites, look this one up through our good friend search engine, you'll be able to find all those details as the scores undevelop. Big firing down the far sideline. A bit of a cannon. Blocker looking for options. Back to Big. Perfect opportunity for a hammer. Being forced to that far side. But it doesn't seem to be the favoured throw of here. Good break to the resets though. Going to need something a bit more dynamic. There is the opportunity there. Blade to the far side. Oh, that was nearly picture perfect, but that heel was just on the line. But a great idea from Mira Glocker. Plain. Trying to keep it simple. Nice little bit of a poach off there from Galba. Just to make that blade a little bit less viable. Rostenschur. Nice backhand rolling break. Playing now. Some really solid person coverage from DTS. Oh, then that was hotly contested, but fantastic determination there to receive that one. Glocker just putting that one in the holster.
Yeah, Rostenschur had a nice point there from beginning to end. And in the end, had just enough space to get beyond Gauba. A lot of hard work to cash in another point. They're fourth on the board right now, and nothing given against this DTS defense. Everything earned tooth and nail, and they fought for that one. And they're going to have to keep fighting to slow down this steamroller DTS.
I would be surprised to see Europe bring it within the 3-point margin required to keep this one going beyond the 7 minutes left. Didn't quite manage to communicate. Spieler had the opportunity there, but was focused too much on her player. Pistikaita finding Petrovaita. Oh, a little bit of a poach off there. The strip is going to be called. Kivalaita fairly sure she had that in her grasp. Watch it back.
Everything going the way of DTS, not that call, but the Reznikaita play as well. Even with the defense there, they're still retaining possession.
Kundalita connects it through. Oh, that's a lovely little bit of 1-2-3. Petrovaita with the throw. And Verblita with the catch. One of the newbies in this team.
Yeah, newbies. Verblita, I saw her from the airport, in fact, getting on the bus, and I asked if she was excited, and she said she was very relaxed for the last 2-3 days going in, but as she was getting on the plane and it was all becoming so real that she was starting to feel the nerves of this game, but looking relaxed out there, playing well, doing her job, so good on ya.
One of the rising stars, just 20 years old, but a teenager we've not seen on the pitch, sadly, for UR is Sarah Hermiking, who's on the sidelines in her sliders. Best luck for her recovery, but that's an adventurous shot. Saskia Bick running into the stands to try and power herself towards the disc, and she is indeed a very powerful athlete.
Good notice there. Sarah Herning obviously would have brought a lot of energy to this year team.
Indeed, she was absolutely fabulous in Padova last season, really marshalled the German women's team offensively and defensively. Bogdanova marshalling at the backspace for DTS. Happy to just keep resetting the Frisbee. Only 5 minutes more left to play for Drop That Smile. We're just so passionate about this sport. Bassus in acreage in the end zone, and that is another to the tally.
Bassus just continuing to exploit so many tools that she's got. A 5-tool player. Speed, size, she's got hands, she's got throws, she's doing everything out there. It seems so easy just backing away, backpedaling away from the defense, but she started so early. By the time that catch was made, the defense took a 1-step poach. She'd already backpedaled 3 steps into the evidence space and the lookup, as you said, into acreage.
You're seeking options. Fine one in Schumacher, but not quite the connection desired. Plenty of room for Lena. They're going to have to grind it back. 3 minutes and change. Unless, of course, DTS can put 3 points in 30 seconds-ish each. Soft cap here in Denmark, 17 points. Oh, but that's just lovely execution. This Lithuanian club side really now just finding the flow and the magic that was stagnant in the first point of the game.
I reckon they can stop dropping that smile at this stage with that kind of a lead. 10 points up, 14-4. They've got a whole lot of reason to start smiling right now. They are going, I'll say it, Hannah, they are going to advance to the quarterfinals at this stage.
So here's a quirky one for you. I believe, Steph, looking at the schedule website, that the winner of this game is going to be facing Moon Cup, which is surprising. I feel like maybe that's a little quirk in the system, but either way, that's who we're looking on to face. Moon Cup Atletico Kafum Orbro already into the standings along with catch-up women. That's a missed opportunity though there for ULTI. That looked very good for Saskia Bick.
Yeah, catch-up women, maybe the running out of space there. Bassus was in but causing enough of visual disruption, if nothing else.
Saskia Bick's had a hard game. She's been marked by Donata Bassus the whole time, and I think it's probably that thing of, the chasm between you. But there you go. I'll tell you what, that might have fired Saskia Bick up. Just not quite. Thinking about it, trying to look for the options, keeping it easy and simple. That one a little bit of a stretch for Saskia Bick, but she powers herself through. She still wants this.
And that's what you like to see. But Ostushard, I actually thought she was in from my angle on that throw towards the goal. Here's the one. I know, you're now seeing it again. That left back foot was still dragging, so called correctly. But love to see Saskia Bick just out there battling no matter what. You did talk about the battle between Bassus and her. The team helps that too. There's a player versus player battle, but when all the other battles are going the way of the white shirts, your job gets even more difficult. And that said, she's had a tough day at the office, as have everybody in black shirts in these matchups.
Yeah, Bick, though, plenty of experience, but that is a lovely layout grab for Barbara Kundelita. We'd not seen her required to do it so far in this game, but she adds that little bit of swaz in the last 2 minutes.
My goodness, Kundelita, I just can't wait to see this again. Left hand, full extension. Oh my goodness. Make it happen. Do it again. Oh, wow. Like, it looked like it was turfed. Oh, Kundelita, you have got to be kidding me. That is the cherry on the cake. You are just taking this game away. You know, that turnover would have been very excusable, and she just, nah, I'm going to be a hero.
You'll never get bored watching Bora, as she's known. Barbora Kundelita, scintillating stuff. Bit of a misthrow there again from YRR. I think they just didn't quite have their best put together in this game. This, to bring it all to a close. Finish the point, and one if you're within 3, but of course soft cap all game long will be 17. So this for the full score available for the Lithuanian side. And Greta Gudvilaita will get us back underway. Nice matchup with Barbara Winter. 255 shirts. Maybe they'll arrange a little trade at the end of the tournament. Put the Skaita back. A little bit risky there for Gudvilaita. She puts her body behind the disc in such a calm way, and that will finish us off. DTS drop that smile, not dropping the disc, and will not be dropping out of the championship bracket either. They will advance to quarterfinals, and you can see how much it means to them.
Great game by DTS, that is for sure. YRR were outmatched from the start, tried to find ways in it, but going down 5-0 right out of the gates, they were going to have their hands full. They were really only just scrapping for pride from way too early in the game, and credit that to an incredible performance. DTS gets relegated to the crossovers, don't get the top seed, but are right now showing that they deserve. They may well have been able to earn a spot to be up there, and will be charging right back into that top bracket. I look forward to seeing who they're going to play if it is indeed Moon Cup. That will be a heck of a battle, but no matter who they face in those top 4, I would say be wary of DTS. Absolutely,
they have come here to take some names. So in fact, 2 of the women's crossovers have gone to the soft cap totals. Uprising UK also rising up to the top bracket here in this championship. The other 2 still ongoing, closer matchups between those ones, but it's been a pleasure to bring you this game. YRR really do have some fantastic talent. This had some, great moments. I think it just wasn't quite their game, Steph.
It wasn't quite. We do have now confirmation in the bracket, so DTS will not get that rematch. They will get the story of the tournament from their bracket yesterday. Catch Up went undefeated and have claimed a big spot, but will have their hands full holding off the Lithuanians. Catch Up versus DTS is 1 quadrant of that quarterfinal.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on ULTI.TV, though we'll be bringing you content all day long, so don't go anywhere.
Come on, break!
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.